Big news in the boxing world. Oscar de la Hoya just dropped some major opinions on two of the sport's biggest names, fresh off Canelo's dominant win over Edgar Berlanga on September 14, 2024. The boxing world is buzzing. Oscar de la Hoya has weighed in with some hot takes on both fighters. Is this the moment Berlanga needed to rise to the top? Or is Canelo just too far ahead in his legacy? De la Hoya's explosive comments could shake up the future of both fighters' careers. Stick around to hear what the Golden Boy had to say and why it matters for the future of boxing. Oscar de la Hoya's recent comments following Canelo Alvarez's victory over Edgar Berlanga on September 14, 2024, have stirred up a lot of conversation in the boxing world. De la Hoya praised Canelo for his continued dominance, but suggested that the fight revealed Berlanga's potential despite the loss. He emphasized that Berlanga, though outclassed by Canelo, still has the raw talent and power to rise in the ranks, but will need to focus on refining his technique to compete at the elite level. De la Hoya also highlighted the significance of this fight for Canelo's legacy, calling it a crucial moment in proving that Canelo remains at the top of the sport. He urged Berlanga to take this defeat as a learning opportunity and hinted that with proper development, Berlanga could still become a future star in the division. The fight has reignited discussions about what's next for both fighters, with many wondering if Berlanga can bounce back and if Canelo will continue to chase tougher opponents to further cement his legendary status. Oscar de la Hoya is not only a legendary fighter, but also a powerful figure in the business side of boxing. He's a former multi-division world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and now runs Golden Boy Promotions, one of the biggest promotional companies in the sport. His role as a promoter means he's helped shape the careers of many top fighters, including Canelo Alvarez. De la Hoya's words carry weight, not just because of his incredible in-ring experience, but because he's seen the sport evolve both inside and outside the ring. De la Hoya also commented on Canelo's most recent fight, suggesting that Canelo didn't look as sharp as he has in the past. He pointed out that while Canelo has relied on his power and technical ability for a long time, as he gets older, it may be time for him to adjust his style or change up his training. De la Hoya hinted that the pressure is on for Canelo to prove he's still the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and that continuing to challenge himself is crucial. These comments from De la Hoya carry significant weight. Canelo is already regarded as one of the greatest Mexican fighters in history, but there's always more to prove in boxing. De la Hoya's critique suggests that Canelo needs to push himself even harder if he wants to stay on top. The personal history between these two also adds another layer to the situation. When De la Hoya was promoting Canelo, he helped him become a global superstar. Now, with their professional relationship fractured, some might interpret De la Hoya's comments as part of a lingering rivalry. However, many fans believe that De la Hoya is offering genuine advice for Canelo to maintain his status at the top of the sport. On the other hand, De la Hoya's words could also resonate with fans who are eager to see Canelo take on even greater challenges. De la Hoya's challenge for Canelo to face tougher opponents could lead to some exciting matchups down the road, and it will be interesting to see how Canelo responds to these critiques. Now, let's shift our focus to Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga is a rising star in the super middleweight division and is known for his knockout power. Berlanga made waves early in his career by knocking out his first 16 opponents in the first round, an incredible streak that immediately put him on the map. His power and aggressive style captured the attention of boxing fans and promoters, marking him as a potential future star in the sport. However, as Berlanga has stepped up in competition, his recent fights have been more challenging. While he's still winning, he's had to go the distance in some of his most recent bouts, which has led to some criticism. Some believe that Berlanga needs to evolve his style and rely less on his knockout power if he wants to compete at the highest levels of the sport. Despite these critiques, Berlanga remains one of the most exciting prospects in boxing, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding his future. De La Hoya, who has been watching Berlanga's career closely, recently shared his thoughts on the young fighter. Overall, De La Hoya is positive about Berlanga's potential, but he also offered some constructive criticism. According to De La Hoya, while Berlanga's power is impressive, he needs to focus on becoming a more well-rounded fighter. De La Hoya emphasized that relying solely on knockout power won't be enough to beat the elite fighters in the division. He suggested that Berlanga needs to work on his fundamentals, improving his defense, footwork, and overall ring IQ. De La Hoya also commented on Berlanga's recent performances, noting that going the distance in fights isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, he believes that it's a good opportunity for Berlanga to gain valuable experience and learn how to handle different styles of fighters. De La Hoya stressed that Berlanga's career is at a critical point, and the lessons he learns now will be essential for his future success. Berlanga's career trajectory has certainly caught the attention of fans and analysts. While his knockout streak was impressive, it's clear that the level of competition is increasing, and Berlanga will need to continue developing if he wants to become a world champion. De La Hoya's advice seems to be aimed at helping Berlanga realize his full potential. With the right adjustments, Berlanga could become a dominant force in the super middleweight division, but only time will tell if he can rise to the occasion. The comments De La Hoya made about both Canelo and Berlanga highlight the different stages of their careers. Canelo, who has already established himself as one of the best in the sport, is being challenged to continue pushing the boundaries of his legacy. Meanwhile, Berlanga, a rising star, is being encouraged to refine his skills and become more well-rounded. De La Hoya's perspective as a former fighter and current promoter gives him a unique insight into what it takes to succeed in the sport of boxing. It's also worth noting that De La Hoya's comments could spark interesting conversations about the future of boxing. Fans are always looking for exciting matchups, and if Canelo takes De La Hoya's advice to heart, we could see him step into the ring against some of the toughest opponents out there. For Berlanga, De La Hoya's guidance could help shape his career, making him a future champion. In conclusion, Oscar De La Hoya's recent comments on Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga offer a fascinating glimpse into the future of two major figures in boxing. For Canelo, De La Hoya is urging him to continue challenging himself and facing the best competition available. For Berlanga, De La Hoya sees tremendous potential but stresses the importance of becoming a more complete fighter. These comments have sparked plenty of debate, and it will be exciting to see how both fighters respond to De La Hoya's critiques. Will Canelo take on even greater challenges to further solidify his legacy? Will Berlanga rise to the occasion and become the next big star in boxing? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Oscar De La Hoya will be watching closely, and so will the rest of the boxing world. Thanks for tuning in to today's breakdown of Oscar De La Hoya's thoughts on Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think Canelo should fight next? And do you agree with De La Hoya's assessment of Berlanga's career? Let us know what you think, and stay tuned for more updates on the latest boxing news.